Greetings, Commanders. This is Commander Honglong from Honglong Wuxia, and welcome back to Elite Dangers for Noobs. Today, we will be going over Part 2 of Guardian Tech, wherein we will be visiting the Guardian structures and a brief stopover at some of the Guardian ruins, where we will pick up some Guardian Obelisk data. And at the Guardian structures, we will be picking up the vessel blueprints, the weapon blueprints, and the module blueprints. But before we do that, we're going to have to do a surface scan of the planet so that we can find out exactly where the Guardian structure is located. Once we've done that, we will lock on the site and we will fly down and land, and we will proceed from there. Now, you're going to want to make sure on your way, on your trip out to the Guardian sites, that besides stopping off and getting some first footfalls and doing exobiology, that you also stop off and collect some mats. So you'll have to be stopping at planets with geological signals. I would recommend that you do that in Horizon, as it's still a lot easier than finding the heat map and doing it on Odyssey. I haven't done it in a few months, so I'm not sure whether that's improved yet or not. But I have seen some recent posts where they said that it's still better to do it in Horizons. And the reason that you're going to want to be collecting those mats is so that you'll be able to repair, restock the ammo on your SRV, and to refuel it. Now the first thing you're going to do if you're coming in on the night side of the planet is to turn on the night vision. It'll make it a lot easier to see what you're doing and land. I would also recommend that maybe I would also recommend that you fly over the site a few times so you can get an idea for the layout of the place. You can also go on Reddit or Inara or some of the other forums. Many commanders have already posted maps of the different kinds of layouts that you're going to run into. Once you get out into your ship, or get out of your ship and get into your SRV, you're going to want to also turn on your night vision so you can see where you're going and what you're doing. I would also recommend that you put all pips to your weapons, because you will be getting attacked. And once you are attacked, it's important that you do not panic. These are Guardian sentries. They will not do a lot of damage to you. Just make sure that you select your target and fire away, and you should be able to take them down easy enough. Well, some will go down easier than others. You're also going to want to make sure after you kill these sentries that you salvage the wreckage, because they're an integral part of the recipes that you need for the Guardian Tech. Now, when you're going at a weapons blueprint site or a module blueprint site, you're going to want to collect these. These are the ancient relics. Only need one of them, and you'll need it to release the orb after you've charged up all the pylons. Just make sure you've deployed your cargo scoop, and then select the relic, and then just run over it and you'll collect it. Now, once you've done that, you want to head over here. This is where the orb will be released and where you will raise the first pylon. As you can see, once you've raised the pylon, you're going to want to shoot into it, and that will charge it up, and that will begin a timer. And because that begins a timer, what you want to do the first time you you visit one of these sites is you're going to want to raise all of the pylons before you start charging them up. And every time you do raise up a pylon, more sentries will start coming after you. And, as I said before, as long as you don't panic, it should be easy enough to take these down without incurring too much damage yourself. Now, there's a total of 6 pylons at each site. Each site's pretty symmetrical, so if there's a pylon on one side, it'll also be over on the other side as well. If you run out of time, the pylons will all retract and sink back down into the ground, and you're going to have to start the process over again. But you should have plenty of time to to hit all of the pylons as long as you do it methodically, take the time, and if you've raised all the pylons first, it should be no issue. And this can get a little bit grindy because you're going to have to go through it a number of times. You're going to have to go through it a number of times, not necessarily because you're going to want to collect or get all of the Guardian modules, weapons, or vessels, but because you need the other components that you find along the way. You're going to need quite a number of things like the wreckage components, power conduits, technology components, pattern obelisk data. Although I would not recommend bothering with the pattern obelisk data at the Guardian sites. Wait to go to the ruins and just go through those a couple of times. You'll collect a lot more of them, and you'll collect them a lot faster. And as you can see, as you're going through here, it gets a little bit easier to knock those sentries out the more practice you get. Now, once you've lit up all the pylons or charged all the pylons up, you're going to want to go back to where you started the process to release the ore. Now, if you have plenty of time, you can stop off and collect some more components on your way. These structures here, they have 3 destructible panels, 2 on one side, 1 on the other side, and they release items that you will need for your recipes. Now, once you've collected them, you want to head back over to where you raised the first pylon so that you can release the ore. So as you can see, the way to release the orb is you're going to have to select your inventory, you're going to have to select the ancient relic, and then you're going to have to drop it on the X, or jettison it out of your SRV onto the X, and the orb will be released. And then you'll need to select the orb and scan it. Once it's scanned, you'll get the appropriate blueprint, and sentries will begin attacking you again. Now this time you don't need to bother with them, you can just head right back to your ship. If you've gone through the site enough times, get back into your ship and head off to the next Guardian site, or the ruins, or head back to the bubble as the case may be. Or you can just get back into your ship and log off and log back in, and you can start the process again. This site, because this is a vessel blueprint site, so for this one you're going to need that ancient key that you picked up at the beacon. You're going to want to make sure you drop it out of your ship, jettison it from your ship so that your SRV can pick it up, and you want to do that before you start the process of raising the pylons, because if not, you're going to have to get back into your ship and then you're going to have to start this whole thing. So for this one, you jettison the ancient key on the X, and it will release the orb, and then you scan it and you will get your vessel blueprint. Now for this one, I'm showing this one for 2 reasons. One, this is the main reason that you're coming out here. This is for the module blueprint, and the module blueprint is the one that will give you the frame shift drive. You can also see that I've done this a number of times. My skill at taking out the sentries is quite a bit since the first one. I'm also showing this one because the layout of this one is significantly different than the other ones. As you can see, there's a pylon directly in the middle, and there's 2 of them further on down on either side. So now once you've jettisoned your ancient relic on the X marks the spot, and you scanned the orb again and collected your module blueprint, you'll be ready to either repeat the process or head over to the ancient ruins to collect the pattern obelisk data. And in this case, the ancient ruins are on the same planet, so there is not far to go. So, this is the ancient. This is an ancient ruin site, and in front of us is an ancient obelisk. So you'll just have to select it and scan it, and you will collect three units of pattern obelisk data, and there are 5 different types. You have the alpha obelisk data, beta obelisk data, gamma obelisk data, delta obelisk data, and yes, that's right, epsilon obelisk data. Now, probably the easiest way to find this is to go into your contacts and select, as I just did there, and boom, you'll find it, and then you just can scan it. And other than that, you can also tell that there's a slight difference in the coloration between the obelisks that contain the data and those that are just dead stumps. And you want to go into your encoded materials and check and see how many of each type that you have. And once you've done that, you want to go check the recipes and make sure that you have enough for whatever kinds of modules or weapons or vessels that you want to get. All right, Commanders, that brings us to the end of this edition of Elite Dangers for Noobs. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the button down below, subscribe if you haven't already, and share the video. And until next time, fly safe, and remember, don't fly without a rebuy.